Hello everyone, DM Gashbad here, and today I'll be bringing you another game report for Warhammer Quest. If you've watched my other game reports, you've seen this band of heroes go into the dungeons and play some games with mixed success, but we're feeling pretty good. We only have 3 of our heroes this time. The Wood Elf Wardancer, Woody Spanglepants. He couldn't make it today, but we were feeling confident anyway, so we only have 3 of our heroes. However, we did get some loot from the last adventure. Didn't get anywhere close to going up another level, but not that you really want to do that because the level 2 monsters are much more difficult. But anyway, we have Janicks the Chaos Warrior. He's got the Poisonous Bite and the Entrancing Blade. The Entrancing Blade is not a really good magical artifact. He's never going to use that. Instead, he's going to use his Ensorcelled Blade, a magic weapon that gives him +1 to hit that he picked up last game. He also has the Frost Blade. That's the big objective room treasure that we got for actually completing the last mission. So that's a really cool one-use item. He goes to hit, and if he hits anybody with that, he'll immediately kill them. So that's a nice one-use item. We have Wilbur Shiny Skull Falmort, that's our wizard. He picked up the invisibility ring last game, so that's not bad. So he can make himself untouchable for 1 round of the game. He has the spells Lifebringer, which is not a bad healing spell. It's not the best. He has Rebound, which is not a really good defensive spell. And he has the offensive spell Pit of Despair, which is really interesting. It's a bit situational. It can make a pit open up in the floor space that no one can move over and can instantly kill any monsters that are over it. Anyway, and then we have my Trollslayer, Tangy Flatpress. He is bare bones. He hasn't really gotten himself anything. Trollslayers have a real problem in that they can't use a lot of the treasure items that you pick up. So he is more or less as he was in the very beginning. The mission that we rolled up, so we chose the Fountain Room and we rolled the Skaven Curse mission. So that's an interesting one. We have to go into the Fountain Room and we have to remove a bunch of warpstone that are contaminating this spring outside of Miragliano, which is a Tillian city, which I think is kind of cool. There's some good things and some bad things. On the plus side, the objective room monsters are just 12 Skaven, which are not that bad. That is not a bad group to fight in the last room. The bad side is that after the whole adventure, you have to have enough health remaining to grab the warpstone from the fountain and uncontaminate it, because it's automatically going to cause you a certain amount of damage. So you could go through the whole thing, and if your guy is hurt, or even if he's not, if you roll just badly, this warpstone will just turn you into a mutated pile of goo. So you need to have a certain amount of health remaining in order to actually achieve the mission. So here we are in our starting positions. We're going to go ahead, we're going to roll the power phase. We're not going to get any encounters in that first round. We're going to explore the next passageway because we set ourselves up right next to that doorway. We find another passageway, so that's 2 passageways in a row, just a long hall that we're marching down, and we go ahead and we move up. So we roll power phase again, don't get any encounters, don't roll that 1 on a d6, and we move up again. And this time when we explore, we find a corner. So at least we found a turn in this whole thing. The power phase doesn't give us an encounter again, so we go ahead and we move down that corner. No encounter again, we go ahead and move up to the archway. We explore and we find another passageway. People do not like rooms that have been building this dungeon. So we roll the power phase again and we get an encounter. 6 orcs jump out of the shadows and they attack us. But we get to go first. Janicks unfortunately has a bad set of rolls and doesn't do any damage. Wilbur doesn't get much going either. Now the wizard isn't great at combat, and of course when you get your encounter, the power score is 0, so he doesn't have any power to cast any spells in the first round of an encounter. But Tangy goes and he chops up an orc, so that helps. In return, the orcs do little damage to us. Hero phase again, we don't get an encounter, we get some power. Janicks goes ahead and chops up the 2 orcs in front of him. He's got that poisonous bite and the ensorcelled blade, so he's a pretty good combat monster. Falmort doesn't do anything to the orcs, but Tangy does get to move up and he takes out 2 orcs all on his own. The last orc moves forward and tries to cause some damage, but he fails. Janicks the Chaos Warrior has figured that those guys have everything in control, so he goes and moves further down that passageway. You guys got this, right? I'm just going to go ahead and explore here. He can't go too far. He's got the lantern, so he doesn't want to leave us in the dark. But anyway, Falmort and Tangy are up to the challenge, and they killed that last orc. We get some piece of treasure, which I don't remember. And here's probably the reason why that doesn't stand out to me. Because immediately after this, we roll another 1 on the power score, so our wizard is not doing great not rolling 1s here. And we get the D3 Minotaurs card, and wouldn't you know it, we get the maximum 3 Minotaurs. You know, when I usually play Warhammer Quest, I usually take out the D3 Minotaurs card. I always take out the Cave-In card, because that card is terrible. But in addition, we usually take out this D3 Minotaurs card, and this is the reason why. Because if you get the full 3 Minotaurs, it's usually a TPK. You're usually going to have everybody die. Well, anyway, let's see how we do. On the plus side, we do have that Frostblade. On the downside, the wizard already used its Finger of Death scroll, so we don't have that tool to instantly cause 2d6 wounds to one of these Minotaurs. So there's no question this is going to be a tough fight. For whatever reason, Janicks does not go and immediately use the Frostblade. He's going to go and try and fight this Minotaur fairly. He's going to cause 3 wounds to it, which is not going to make much of an impression. Tangy and Falmort both try to gang up on that Minotaur there on the left. We do manage to do 4 wounds to it, but it's looking pretty bad. In return, they do cause some damage, but we are still alive, which is actually pretty good. It's the new round, and we're hoping for some good luck to swing around. We could really use that Lifebringer spell to help us out. But no, Falmort goes and rolls another 1 on the power score, and we get another encounter. Hooray! We get the Snotlings. We get 2d6 Snotlings. We roll up 6 Snotlings, so we have to draw a random warrior card that all these Snotlings are going to gang up on. We choose the Chaos Warrior, so he's stuck all by himself, surrounded by Snotlings and a Minotaur. They also, you know, because things aren't bad enough, they get an immediate attack. So these guys spring out and immediately get to fight. They don't do much to us, but it certainly didn't help. Okay, so now this has Janicks' attention. He's going to use his Frostblade, and he is going to finally go and kill that Minotaur. Then he's going to go and use his Poisonous Bite, and he's going to eat all of the Snotlings around him. So Janicks had a really good turn. Unfortunately, Falmort and Tangy are still struggling. We've decided to ignore the Snotlings behind us, and we're going to concentrate on that Minotaur in front. We only managed to cause 2 more wounds to it. In return, however, the Minotaurs go and just flatten Tangy Flatpress. Well, that was bound to happen. It looks like my guy is the first to get taken out. So they go and smash him into the ground, and all is not lost. If I get healed somehow, I can come back up and join the fight. And so what we really need to do is we really need to get that Lifebringer spell into the mix, and maybe that'll bring the Trollslayer back, and we can continue on this adventure. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be. We don't get an encounter, but we don't get enough power in order to actually use the spell Lifebringer. So Tangy is not getting back up. Janicks does move in. Unfortunately, Falmort and Janicks failed to hurt anything this round, so this is not a good round for us. On the plus side, the Minotaurs don't actually kill anybody else, so they kind of got a little bit lucky there. They're still hanging in there. We'll see what happens in the next round. We roll for the power score, and we get another 1. There's another encounter. So these encounters are just piling up on each other, and it's a trap. So we have to roll a d6 to see what kind of trap it was. Now, it could be good. We could get the one where it just finds a whole bunch of gold, but we don't roll well. We roll a 1 instead, which means a big explosion tears through the board section. We randomly determine that it's a board section with Falmort there, and so everyone there takes d6 damage. Well, you know, Falmort is still alive after that, which is nice, and the 2 Minotaurs actually take some damage, which helps. So the hurt Minotaur over there takes another 4 damage. He's actually getting close to dying. And the other Minotaur takes 3 damage. And fortunately, we don't roll another event immediately following this trap. So this is definitely bad, but there are ways it could be worse. Like this, for example. So Janicks and Falmort both try to concentrate their attacks on that last Minotaur. They do cause 2 more wounds, but it is not enough. In return, one Minotaur turns around and bludgeons Janicks to death. The other one finally goes and kills off Falmort. So there you go. It's a wiped out party. This adventure has claimed our group. So what have we learned from this? First off, don't try to adventure with an understrength party. We were feeling really confident. We had some nice magic items, but it did not help. I'm not sure how much Woody Spanglepants would have helped in this situation, but we probably needed him. Second off, we should really think harder about taking out that D3 Minotaurs card, because it's brutal, and maybe I'll petition stronger in my next game to remove that. Even with our additional magic items. So anyway, we're going to pretend like this never happened. We're going to try another game with these 3 guys, because we're dumb. And we'll see how that goes. But this one definitely didn't go fantastically. So thanks for watching. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, leave those below, and I will see you on the next one.